Hi, my name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer, and I'm a psychologist, and I help people through their spiritual awakening. And all of life is a spiritual awakening, so I hope you're doing well. All right, I had one thing that was coming up, and maybe it'll lead to other things. I don't know. I never know. Well, I sometimes know when I'm teaching a class. I know the idea, but what was coming to me was that, so I knew this guy that was sent to boarding school when he was a child. And, you know, he would, little, I think like 5 years old or something. He would wait for his parents, to pick him up and hope that they would show up. I remember feeling like this at camp, actually. I went to camp when I was 8, and I went for a month, so it was like 4 weeks. And that was only 4 weeks. This guy was gone, I don't know how long they would do that, all year. It was just what people did at the time, just like my parents sent me to camp for a month. I learned so much there, but I was 8, and I remember forgetting what my parents looked like because there were no cell phones back then when I was at camp. They let you write snail mail, they called it, like letters. I think I remember asking my parents to send me a picture because I forgot what they looked like. It was so weird. It's like you get past homesickness almost, But I remember this guy, it really struck my heart really deeply. It's so great to just be in your own body, like feel the isness of who you are. You're like, I don't want to tell you who you are. I'd like you to discover if you'd like to, because you already know who you are. There's part of you that knows already. You don't need anything from me, and I don't need anything from you. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. That and this eternal isness, this isness that I know I am. That lived before, if we are all connected and I am me and I am you and you are me, we're all separate, but sometimes people say it's like this, like we're separate, right? All these separate, and then you go up and it's like, oh, look, we're all connected as well. Oh, I just fell skating. But oh, it was so fun. That was so fun. It was so amazing. I just skated down by the beach. It was 11:11 when I started this, so it's getting closer to midnight. And I just hadn't skated yet today, so I went down to this parking lot that's open until midnight. because it's like a meditation. But anyway, so here we are, all separate, but we're one. And I was thinking, like, you know, not thinking, just if that guy was me, you know, if I was him, and his experience, like, I don't know if you understand this or if you know this, but there's like a collective consciousness. It's like the Bodleian Library in Oxford. Or like the other library. It's kind of like, if you think of it like a library, and every time, like, there's a library, you know, that every new book that gets published, let's say, goes to that library. That book is now in that library. The experiences we have are in the collective like that. Some people call it the Akashic Records, but you don't have to know about that. Just know it's like if someone writes a new book, that writing is in there. And it's like, you know, it's like the person that ran the 4-minute mile. Once they ran that, there's a spider. Once they ran that, it's like, even if there wasn't telephones and the telegram back then or whatever was there, you know, and people knowing, or the TV, you know, that someone could do it, it goes into the collective. Like, once someone discovered flight, it's like someone discovered it somewhere in the different part of the world at the same time, or the next day, or whatever, even without them knowing about it. It's just, we're all connected by invisible lines, let's say. But you don't have to know all these metaphysical things. It's just back to the guy, you know, who had the experience of being left, wanting his parents as a little child, you know, and them thinking they're doing a good thing. It's like, if that man grows up, that boy grows up to be a man, and he doesn't even realize how he's still identifying himself, you know, by the absence of his parents, by the absence of his mom, because his mom is meant to be the one that nurtures, you know, by the absence of his dad, because his dad's not there, you know, hugging him and guiding him, encouraging him, giving him courage. I mean, in a way, the school becomes like a tribe, you know, and cares for him in some ways. Some ways he gets something, but I was just being present, like I often am, with divine love, with God earlier. And some of that just remains private, obviously, you know, because I get to do that. But some of it, whatever I learn that can benefit other people, so that you guys don't have to stay in pain or stay with a broken identity. An identity, like, the guy came up to my mind because what if he always defined himself by the absence of those parents? What if he always was looking for, you know, that love to show up, that showed up when he was early in childhood, from 0 to 4, but then stopped showing up, that he longed for to show up, you know? Looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces. What a guy. I don't know how the rest of the song goes. I grew up in Texas, so sometimes songs like that would come on the radio and I'd usually change it back then because I wouldn't listen to country music because I thought it was too country. It's a good line though, you know? But it's like, you know, Rumi is a mystic Sufi poet, Rumi. He's beautiful. I went to his grave in Turkey and I just started hearing all this stuff in my heart. It was so beautiful. It was so mystical and magical. But he says, you know, do not seek for love. Instead, seek to remove everything that's in you that's a barrier between yourself and love. If this guy was always looking outside of himself still, because he learned to do that as a child, it's a pattern he learned. And he learned to do that. If he kept looking outside of himself for love, then it's always going to be out there, because that's it's 11:11 on this. That's how the universe reflects itself back to you. It's like if you keep chasing a dog, it will keep running, you know? I mean, if you keep saying love is out there and I'm waiting for it to come in here, then the universe will keep responding to you like a mirror. It's like, yes, love is out there, and keep waiting for it to come in here. If you look and you find out that, watch those thoughts. Don't identify with them. Just watch them and go, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I'm going to watch that thought. And then when you watch it, you're like, wait, that thought isn't me. I'm observing that thought. I felt like a boy as a 5-year-old. I'm just saying for him, you know, waiting for my mom and dad to show up. So I got that experience of absence. And like what I learned with Joe Dispenza is like that creates a chemical reaction in your brain, and you're used to that chemical. And so you unconsciously will seek that chemical over and over again to keep feeling that wanting but not having. You feel that, and it gives you a dopamine hit, gives you a kind of high, until you detox and be like, I don't like that energy anymore. I'm tired of that energy. That energy is boring, you know? And then you stop sabotaging real relationships, or you stop pushing away people that could actually love you or you. Start seeing that you are love. You are love. Even if that's too large of a step, you can look at, am I these thoughts? Am I these feelings? Maybe there's something more creative, more adventurous. Let's be curious to define ourselves more than the absence of someone in our lives, or the absence of something. When you learn to be present, your presence, feel that, and that's bliss, that's love. Or not, you know, stay with what you're used to. It's up to you. I wish you love. That's it.